Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the this very special New Year's Eve edition of Game Over Vancouver. My name is Kaja, and the Vancouver Canucks just lost 3-2 in regulation to the Calgary Flames. Before we get into what just happened, quick little message I have for you. Think you know what way it's gonna go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live in play on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly. All right. So obviously the Canucks lost. That's kind of a given. Just death, taxes, and the Canucks losing when I'm hosting Game Over. It didn't happen a few days ago. Or was that a few days ago? What is time anymore? Time doesn't exist. Last week. That was last week. Yeah, that was last week. Miller was certainly interesting. I just think this game, 41 seconds in with the penalty for hooking on Tanev in the offensive zone. First of all, 41 seconds in. Do you know how long 41 seconds is? That's not very long, especially in a hockey game that's 60 minutes. It's not very long, but in the offensive zone? Please? Why? But yeah, on that first PK, they have more confidence getting the puck out, which I appreciate, because our PK is terrible. But at the same time, it's Calgary, they're not very offensively minded, so not really it's more of a slap on the wrist than a actual test of things. Yeah, Martin, we need to get him a leash for the back of his net. Like, he likes playing the puck a lot, and it gives me gray hairs at 20, so I would really appreciate it if he would stop doing that. I feel like his New Year's resolution should be, don't do that anymore, please. Yeah, icing the puck is not defense. Of course, the Canucks don't wake up when the game starts. Death tax and the Canucks not starting on time. They did seem to wake up when it was too late already. Yes, they scored at the beginning of the third, but, at the same time, they didn't score at the end when, they had an empty net, and then there was a huge poke check on, Jonathan Huberdeau did a huge poke check. Is it a poke check? Because he's not a goalie, but, he poked the puck, so terminology, semantics, I don't even know what that word means. Yeah, to get the Canucks to get the puck out of the zone, because the Canucks were about to probably score on Markstrom there at the end of the third. Yeah, Ethan Bear was the best player, in the first period by far. He was the one actually realizing to play. Also, Brock Besser, shout out for forechecking, because the Canucks don't often do that, and I guess they learned a masterclass from the Calgary Flames, because they were doing it. But yeah, Brock Besser's like, just I'm gonna take a little adventure. Take a little adventure into the other zone when I don't have a puck, which was great, because, that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, my mic's down here, you can't see it, so it's like, I messed up my camera angle, that's why. Yeah. Bear was certainly interesting. I thought it was funny in the first. Not a lot happened. Not a lot happened in this game overall. It was a 3-2 game against a team coached by Daryl Sutter. Not a lot is going to happen. On New Year's Eve. It's already New Year's. It's been 2023 for, an hour on the East Coast. It's going to be at, 2023 in, 6 minutes in Central Time. I know time zones, totally. Yeah. I thought it was really funny where Coleman, they thought he got an interference penalty on like Myers or something, and I was like, how do you do that? He is all the way up there, but then it was like holding the stick, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense. They have like player worn and player used, I don't want to say memorabilia, but I guess that's what it is, like equipment essentially. And they had one of Tyler Myers' sticks there, and it was huge. And then Connor Garland's was like here for me, and I'm not like super tall. I'm 5'7". I'm not super tall, but like at the same time. Yeah. The Calgary penalty kill was not a good match for our power play. I noticed the broadcast a lot was mentioning, oh yeah, the Canucks have this great power play, like 8th in the league. They had one shot on the first power play in the first period. They thought it was high sticking. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they thought it was high sticking, and I was just like, how do you high stick a man that's like as tall as the ceiling? Like, I messed up one of the tires on my car because I hit a thing in a parking garage because I was too busy talking about the fact that the height restriction in the parkade would mean that Tyler Myers could not walk down it. True story. But yeah, the Vancouver Canucks when they have to play an actual penalty kill, they kept hyping up the power play. Yeah, our power play is horrible, which I thought was super weird because that was like our main struggle last year. And then it's a huge thing. Oh, the Canucks figured out their power play at the end of last year, and there's like, oh, we might make the playoffs, and then we don't. Yeah, that was fun. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. Yeah, they had one shot the entire first power play. They have not had a lot of power play success in recent games. I think, I don't remember what other game it was, but they had like 6 and they got like 2. Or there was a stat where it was like 3 of 18 or something like that. Yeah. 7 shorthanded goals against for just this season. Just this season. So, that makes me feel great. Yeah, love this team. Love this team. There's one, to end the first period, there was one where they kept getting icings. There's always icings, because like I don't know if you'd call what the Saddle Dome has ice, because it doesn't really look like it, but it's certainly something that is slippery, because people were falling. Yeah, Lucic beat Hughes to the puck, which I feel like sounds illegal, but I understand, like, Hughes is probably tired, but, like, still, how does Lucic, like, how does that work? That should not work. I just wrote how. Just how. Yeah. Then, Lindholm makes it 1-0 in the second. Canucks, of course, too far into the offensive zone. I think I've seen this one before. Didn't like the ending. Creates the 2-on-1. The whole back check. I wrote the wrong player here. I wrote Miller laying down. No, he doesn't know what a back check is. The whole back check was literally just Myers laying down, which, once again, there is a lot of him to lay down, but he didn't block the pass or the shot, because Lindholm didn't shoot. It didn't pass, he shot it. Words are hard. Yeah, then there's a lot of power plays. There was some that were like, is that a power play? But I guess it is now. Yeah, there was the slashing on Hughes on Backlund. Was a little interesting, but I get, going into the hands. They put Kuzmenko back onto the first power play unit, which I thought was an interesting move, considering Brock Besser, was pretty decent on our power play unit, but, whatever. Hello! Yes, it is me, Kaja. Yeah, Kuzmenko just needs to look at some places. He's lost. He's a funny little guy. Out of context, I don't know. I write things down when they come into my brain so I don't forget them, but I forgot the context with Dermot skates like a scared squirrel. I don't know the context of that, but like probably. Yeah. The best part of this game, hands down for the Canucks, was Will Lockwood. He gets put into the lineup. He gets called up from Abbotsford. He's, for not being, I know people always talk about, size of players. Oh, they shouldn't, undermine them, blah, blah, blah. Lockwood's not a big guy, but he checked Nikita Zadorov into the Canucks bench. That's huge! That is awesome! Yeah, he gets called up from Abbotsford. Niels Oman was sent down. Which, I thought he was doing pretty well as our fourth-line center, but, I guess Alvin thinks differently. Whatever. I don't have the same brain as him, obviously. There's a covering on mine. Anyway. Yeah, and then there's Hannafin kneeing on Pettersson. didn't know that was official title for that, but okay. The best thing about my game was that it ended. Oh god. I caught the end of the Sens game. It was not good. Why did the Canucks send Niels Oman? I don't know. I read that yesterday and it hurt my brain. Oh, Happy New Year's to the Central time zone. That's like Winnipeg and stuff, I think. So yeah, I'm really bad at times. I used to be really good at time zones, but I only know like Pacific, Eastern, and like Europe. That's about it. So yeah. They said waiting for the first goal on the third power play when it was already 1-0 Calgary, and then it was 2-0 Calgary because there's a shorthanded 2-on-1, and that was our 7th shorthanded goal against, which has been mentioned before, for just this season. This season has been going on since mid-October. In 2.5 months, we have 7 shorthanded goals against us. That's not good. We pride ourselves on a power play. We're supposed to pride ourselves on a power play. 8th in the league out of 32. That's like, we're in the top quarter. That's supposed to be good. But how bad is every other team on the power play if we are the ones in 8th? How? This game was a mid-off and we got walked until the 3rd. Are you kidding me? Yeah, but the 2-on-1, like, how do you only have 3 players on the ice when you're supposed to have the man advantage? That was basically what happened. Quinn Hughes breaks his stick, OEL goes out, and they're trying to do a line change while this is all happening, but the puck ends up and goes to Blake Holman. Blake Holman scores. Woo, 2-0. But yeah, so OEL was like the only one back, and he didn't really like lean out the way Myers did. Because I guess he doesn't have, like, the same height, but he's still a pretty big dude, right? Yeah, he doesn't really block. He lunges and he tries, but he doesn't. Like, I guess he's showing his gym technique, but, yeah. Yeah, Hughes broke his stick. Basically, the only Canucks players that were out on the ice were... OEL was out, then Petey and Kuzmenko were in the offensive zone. Pettersson and Kuzmenko were in the offensive zone. And then Dries and Garland were coming over the bench, and they basically scored because, there was no one else there. Yeah, and then right after that goal, Stone cross-checks Studnicka. They put the second unit on to start. Brock Besser almost got hurt because he blocked a Canucks shot. It was weird. It was a weird sequence, but yeah, he was in front of the net, like his positioning where he should be for the power play. Puck hits him, and then I just kind of freak out. I'm like, please don't do this to me. Yeah, the Canucks were not able to get the puck into the Calgary zone for a lot of their power plays tonight. The only team that scored on a power play tonight, it was mentioned in the chat. I'm gonna mention this on the stream though, as well. Yeah, the Canucks, like, the only team that scored on a power play tonight was the Calgary Flames, and it wasn't even their own power play. That's not good. Martin, once again, playing the puck, gives it right to Huberdeau, and that kind of, I don't want to say leads to the Weegar goal, but it kind of does, because the Canucks can't really get it back out and get the momentum that they had before. Yeah. They don't have the fresh legs because, the puck is still in the Canucks zone. It might have gone off someone's leg, maybe Myers. There's a lot of leg there. Yeah. There's a lot of screening from the Flames and Canucks. Weegar scores. That's his first as a Flame. He's been a Flame for a long time. Anyway, and then Sheldon Dries scores. That third line, I wasn't a fan of moving Brock Besser down in the lineup to the third line and moving, like, Curtis Lazar. I love, getting new faces, new opportunities for, the higher lines in the lineup. Why is Curtis Lazar on our first line? Don't get me wrong, love Curtis Lazar, love him, but why? That does not compute in my head at all. But yeah, that holy puck possession by the third line there, like, that was kind of insane. Garland, Besser, and Dries just kind of all playing hot potato. It goes in the air, it comes back down, which, it goes in the air, Garland passes it, I believe, and then Dries hits it in. Yeah, the Hughes trip to Foley, nothing really happened in this. It was a non-event, but the only note I have for that is he's mad he re-signed somewhere else, which is the team that traded him to Calgary, so interesting. Yeah, Besser, Garland, and Dries, insane play on the 3-1 goal. Kudos to you. If they gave the belt out for games that we lost, just to that whole line. To the whole line. I hit the mic, I'm so sorry. Yeah, third period starts with the chaos. That was the Pettersson goal. I thought it was gonna be, Flames are gonna put it up for 4-1, because Horvat kind of fell in the corner. It was a little funny, but it's not funny. It's a little funny. Just seeing a grown man just, fall over on, ice. It's a little funny sometimes. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm just a sick human being. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but yeah, Horvat falls, but he also assists on the goal eventually, because puck goes back to Horvat. He's in front of the net. Markstrom is focusing on Horvat instead of Pettersson, which, if he read the general NHL handbook, there is a line in there now officially that says, watch Elias Pettersson. I guess he skipped over that. Yeah, because PD, or maybe the whole Flames skipped over that. Maybe Sutter was just like, oh, we don't need to focus on, Elias Pettersson. He's, too skinny. We don't need to worry about that guy. But then they should have worried about him because he made it 3-2. It's a very bad... I'm so sorry, Daryl Sutter. That was a terrible impression. But I am not good at impressions. Yeah, Spencer Martin. We need to play Delia more games. I do think that we should give Delia more games before Demko gets back. But I also think that Martin was definitely a game saver for the Canucks tonight. He should not be... The thing about the goalies is they never get, thanks a lot. There's been a line for Ovi for, 9 years. He's still left open. Yeah, true. He got a hat trick today, man. I think they put that... I think they wrote that in the NHL handbook, but, in invisible ink or something. Everyone should know, but, they don't. Yeah, Spencer Martin really saved the Canucks tonight. If it wasn't for him, I believe it would have been, what happened to the Canadiens today with a 9-2 game against the Capitals. Yeah, the Canucks didn't wake up until, the end of the third, but, they kind of fell asleep for a little bit, because Kadri tried to freaking McDavid it and split the D, but, yeah, goalies get no respect, and they should, because, especially goalies on the Canucks, they are dealt a bad hand. Demko last year, Martin this year, Demko also this year, freaking Markstrom too, Luongo, I don't know, actually, I just like to say things sometimes, because I like to hear my voice. That's a joke, I don't, but, yeah, I do think Delia should get more games, though, because, we've proven he can read books, and as somebody who also likes to read books, shout out Glasses Human, I see you. Yeah, I feel like we should let the book reader. Hello? My phone just fell, and I thought it was a ghost. Management really chose Miller over Horvat. Don't remind me. That haunts me in my dreams. I had a dream the other night that I was being chased by, the government, but also Horvat got traded, and the worst part about that dream was Horvat being traded. Is that attachment issues? Who knows? Yeah. The third line had a great chance, at the end of the game. Was really surprised there was not an empty net. The post also saved us tonight, aside from Martin, but... Yeah. Just hitting around the halfway... Wait, what? He can read books, which means he could save a shot and go read like a book, and it means something? Yeah. Okay. Well, while we reach... The Canucks traded Miller to the Rangers for Hedel, Lundqvist, and, a first. Yeah, I wish that really happened. I wish, even as somebody who, is a Rangers fan, admittedly, not a Rangers fan from, the late 2000s and on, I will say, because of Henrik Lundqvist. Not that other guy. I would like that, you know? I feel like Hedl would do great here, and Lundqvist did, but then Lundqvist went to Dallas instead. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sad. We should have done that. They should have just bit the bullet. Bitten the bullet? Bite the boat? The bullet? That's not right. A boat is a ship. A boat is a vessel of water. A vessel on water. A vessel... Oh boy. Anyway. That's what 2 hours of sleep does to you, folks. Yeah. Okay, as we hit the halfway point, I'm gonna say this now. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review if you're listening to this on podcast platform. Miller in a first for a laugh. Honestly, sure. Why not? Who says no? Wait, no, we're giving the first? No, I say no. No. They give us a first. They actually scratched Lafreniere. We didn't scratch Miller, even though we probably should. Can you tell I like JT Miller a lot? I really do. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Rate, review on a podcast platform. I am Kaja May. You can find me at Real Kaja May on Twitter. And, follow SCPN Sports on Twitter. And yes. Alright. I said yes. I didn't read it properly. Anyway, now, I'm kind of, combining. We usually do, like, 2 more segments of the stream. But, I'm gonna combine the 2. So this is why it is very important that you share this show right now. And if you're listening to this after it aired, well, you could also share it. That would also be great, because, I would appreciate it very much if you did. But, also, live, right now, we are going to do a big quiz of the year of 2022 for the Vancouver Canucks. Was it glorious? No. Did it exist? Sure. Am I happy about it? Not exactly. But did we deal with it? We lived through 2022. You know what? That's the big highlight for this year. Any goal that JT Miller can score, any save that Elias Pettersson can make. Who cares? Who cares? Right now, it's trivia time. Alright. So basically how this is gonna work, I have around 25 to 30 questions. Went a little ham on this, not gonna lie. They vary in difficulty and vary in topic. But they all relate to the Canucks, all relating to the 2022 year. So that kind of... We do not want DJ Smith. No! That goes back, of course, to the beginning of the 2021-22 season, when we started the year... We started the year winning against the Kraken in Seattle, and we ended the year losing against Calgary in Calgary. Yeah, so includes the back half of the 2021-22, includes the front half, I guess? The beginning of 2022-23. Anyway, yeah, let's start with question number 1, alright? You guys are gonna answer in the chat, and then, there's a little buffer time, but then I will give you the answer. Alright. The championship belt was, the championship belt was handed out 35 times in 2022. Basically, every time the Canucks win, they hand out this belt. Yeah, since it started existing in February. Who has received the belt the most times this year in 2022? Do 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 do. All right. It was Drum roll. I don't know if my mic is picking that up. I'm trying to hit my desk. Spencer Martin received the belt 4 times. Horvat, no. Horvat, I believe, has received it twice. 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4. No, Horvat has received it twice. Only one other player. Petey is, he has 3. So he's second. But Spencer Martin has received it 4 times. Believe 3 this year and 1 last season. But technically it's all this year. Calendar year. That's what you call it, because it's on a calendar. Martin, yeah. Martin, yeah. Oh, this is fun. Anyway, thinking back to last season, the belt was first handed out in February of 2022. Who was the first belt recipient? Not from this season, because that was in fact Bo Horvat when he was handed the belt after our first season win, 8 games into the season. But who did Bruce Boudreau initially choose to be the first championship belt recipient? Who wrote Riley Stillman? Come on. Tyler Myers, Demko. Alright. It was, in fact, Juho Lammikko. If y'all remember him, that was who it was. Juho Lammikko, one of our favorite 4th liners. Oh, I miss that motto line. It was so good to us. Miller. I don't think Miller's actually ever gotten the belt. I have a spreadsheet for that. I'm just gonna double check my sources. 1 second. Retire Roberto Luongo's jersey. Yeah. I don't know. He said no, but it's interesting. Never mind, JT Miller has gotten the belt twice. I can't read. I'm smart. But it was both last year, obviously. For obvious reasons. Okay. 2 Canucks have earned hat-tricks in the calendar year of 2022. Who were they? And for a bonus point, which teams were they up against? One was last season. It was kind of earlier in the year, so might be harder to remember, but this one, there's another one that was recent. Or recenter. I can't words. Miller versus the Jets is one of them. That is one of them. On January 27th in Winnipeg. I remember that. Yes. January 27th, 5-1 win against Winnipeg. Lammikko is playing in the Swiss League, I believe, for the Lions. Miller and Horvat. No. It was, in fact, Andrei Kuzmenko on November 3rd versus Anaheim. Y'all remember that game? That was fun. Yeah, Andrei Kuzmenko, first career hat trick, November 3rd against Anaheim. Alright. November 3rd, again, on November 3rd, he asked me what day it was. Actually, it was October 3rd. I have not watched Mean Girls since I was Kuzmenko versus Ducks, November 3rd. Yes, exactly, Derek. Thank you. On November 3rd, 2022, Kevin Bieksa signed a 1-day contract with the team to officially retire a Canuck. What was his gift from the organization for his retirement? Alright. If you guessed a piece of the stanchion he hit in his second overtime game-winning goal on May 24th, 2011 against the Sharks to advance to the Stanley Cup Final for the third time in franchise history, you are correct! the longest answer one we have. So don't worry. It's all fun and games. Yeah, it was unveiled. I don't know. I'll be honest. I slept through the entire ceremony. I wake up and I'm just like, oh gosh, the game started. I missed it. Found it on Twitter. All good. The same game on November 3rd, the Canucks played, and also the same game that Andrei Kuzmenko got his first career hat trick in. The Canucks played the team BXO was traded to in 2015, the Anaheim Ducks. What was the final score of that game? Just to make sure, I think it might have been mentioned earlier in the... Oh, wait, no. Was it not? It was not. Eight 5. Yes. That is true. 8-5 Canucks. Correct. 9-6. No, that was... Has there been a game that's gone 9-6 this year? There was 10-7 last year. 8-5, yeah. I think that's been the highest scoring game so far. Guessing at this point, honestly, fair. What former Canuck scored the game-winning goal for the Leafs on November 12th, 2022 in the Vancouver 3-2 loss against them in Toronto? I was there for this game. I did not enjoy it. Well, I mean, I did enjoy it. I shouldn't say that. I did enjoy it, but, like, we lost. But it was fun. He's not over there, but I got a Carlton Bear. He's kind of cute. The answer is Jordy Ben. You know, that guy who was a Canuck for a time and a half. Yeah. Him. Again, what former Canuck, another one, different one now this time, scored the shootout winner for the Senators on April 19th, 2022 in the 4-3 loss to Ottawa in Vancouver? Fun fact, I was also here for that game. It was the 5th round of the shootout. And it was really interesting because I was still laughing that Brady Tkachuk missed. So the answer is not Brady Tkachuk, but also he's never played for the Canucks. So that makes sense. Gaudette! Ding, ding, ding! It was Adam Gaudette. That is very true. Adam Gaudette, yes. Our favorite ex-Canuck, Adam Gaudette. Oh my god. Yeah. It was Adam Gaudette. It was not fun. 5th round. You always talk about this. Well, I'm going to continue to talk about it because this is Canucks group therapy, you know? And sometimes we need to talk, we need to therapize our feelings. That's not a word. Next, against which team did Quinn Hughes break the franchise record for most points scored in a single season by a defenseman? If you guess the Seattle Kraken in a 5-2 Canucks win, you were correct. And how many points did he earn in total for last season? So the 2021-2022 season in total. So the one that broke the franchise records for most points scored in a single season by a defenseman. It was, in fact, 68. That was the amount of points in total that Quinn Hughes earned. He also, fun fact to add on to that, most assists in a single season by a defenseman, which honestly he could give that score a run for his money considering how many assists it took him to get a goal this season. Right, I'm going to skip that one. Who was the Canucks' selection for the 2022 All-Star Game in Las Vegas? It was not anyone who counted as the last man in votes, even though we didn't get it. We didn't get it. We didn't get any. Even though it was a hard contest for Miller, he didn't get in. It was, in fact, Thatcher Demko was our representative for the Vancouver Canucks, our sole representative for the Vancouver Canucks, for the 2022 All-Star Game in Las Vegas. Which three former Canucks were inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame this year? Two of them should be quite easy. And another has already been mentioned, I think, in this broadcast. So, there's that. There's a little tidbit of information, a little Salt Bay sprinkle of hint. Instead of mint, it's hint, you know? It was Roberto Luongo, Daniel Sedin, and Henrik Sedin. Obvious. Well, not really obvious, because some people don't like that decision, but, yes. All right. Where am I? This is a little thing, if you checked out Twitter during the time of the Hockey Hall of Famers Classic, what was Roberto Luongo's celly after scoring in the 2022 Hall of Famers Classic? Because remember, he played as a forward. Interesting, he was the rep for the Canucks the last All-Star game. Yeah, him and John Gibson were the goalies for the Pacific Division. Jack Campbell was representing the Leafs, man. Look how that turned out. Alright. If you guessed the Gritty, you are correct. He attempted it. He didn't really succeed in it, but he certainly did something on the ice. It wasn't as good as oh, I forgot what his name is, but the Detroit player that scored in overtime and won the game. Yeah. And obviously he scored in overtime, won the game. Unless you're the Edmonton Oilers, because they got a goal called back. I think it was the Oilers against the Blues. Or else I'm just completely making up an entire game that happened this year. Yeah. It was the Gritty. He attempted it. I'll give him a pass for it. Who did the Canucks select 15th overall in the first round of the 2022 NHL entry draft? Bonus points if you remember how to spell his name. And no, it is not the second coming of Elias Pettersson, because he is a defenseman. We did not select a defenseman 15th overall. We are not New Jersey. Wallman was Winnipeg. Thank you! I forgot. I'm bad with names. I'm terrible. Lekkerimäki is correct! I think I'm saying it right. I hope I am. I try and say it like Patrick Alvin did, but like, he's actually Swedish, and I'm not. I will put this is how I got from Wikipedia. I'm putting it into the chat how to spell his name with the dots on the A too. Umlaut, I believe that one is called. But I'm not. Don't quote me on that, linguistics people. Yeah. How many home games have the Canucks won in the year of 2022? Reminder, our home game record this year is not good. Yeah. If you guess 19, you're correct. We have won 19 games at home in an entire calendar year. There have been 19 nights out of 365. I understand not all of them you will be playing hockey. There is a considerable chunk of time in the middle of the year where no one is playing hockey. Well, not really no one. But the NHL is not playing hockey. In the NHL. Yeah. But 19. That's not good. It is not good. 26-0. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt when I was doing the stats for this, yeah. Stats, I don't know. Research, I guess would be a better word. Who did Spencer Martin earn his first career NHL win against? This was back in January. The final score was 5-1. And yeah, it was his first career NHL win because before that it was only OTLs essentially. Not OELs, OTLs. If you guessed the, that's my imitation of a plane. It was the Winnipeg Jets. We mentioned that game. We mentioned the game earlier because JT Miller got a hat trick, which kind of also helped. But yeah, um, kind of helped the situation. But yeah, first career NHL win for Spencer Martin, and now he has more, but an actual loss. I was also there for his first career NHL loss, so that was fun in regulation. I love being part of history. Two players. This is now we're getting to milestone territory. Two players reached the 800 career game mark. That's a lot of games, if you haven't realized. A lot. 800 career game mark in January 2020. Who were the two players? Both defensemen. Both were not with the Canucks for most of their careers. One has joined less recently, one has joined more recently. But yes, who were the two players? If you guessed Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Tyler Myers, you are correct. Oliver Ekman-Larsson hit his 800 career game mark on January 1st. Tyler Myers hit his on January 25th. Again, later on in January 2022 was a month of milestones. Two players, first career NHL win for Martin, the two 800 careers. Two players reached their 600 career game mark on January 31st, 2022. Who were those two players? One is a Canucks player for a considerable amount of time now. Two, the second is no longer a Canucks player on this current roster, but he was at this time last season, or on January 31st, he was on the Canucks when he hit the 600 career game mark. So yes. You guessed. JT Miller and Alex Chiasson. You are correct. It was not Alex Edler, even though tonight he did hit in a 4-2 loss against the Philadelphia Flyers. Wish we kept him. He did hit 1,000 games, so quick little shout out to Alex Edler. Miss you, Eagle. Alright. It was not Horvat. On 2022. It was JT Miller and Alex Chiasson. Yeah. Chaser was fun. He was great. Later on, just a week later, February 8th, 2022, against the Vancouver Coyotes, that's basically what we are at this point. Just put us in UBC Thunderbird Arena, honestly. I don't think it's actually what it's called too. It's just known as Thunderbird Arena because the Thunderbirds play there. Anyway, two players scored their 400th career point on February 8th, 2022 in a win against the Arizona Coyotes. Who were they? If you guessed Oliver Ekman-Larsson and JT Miller, you are correct. Yeah. OEL hit 800 career games before 400 career points. But you know what? He was on the Arizona Coyotes, so if anything, I just feel bad for him. What team did Andrei Kuzmenko score his first career NHL goal against on October 12th of this year? Andrei Kuzmenko, of course, we signed him in the offseason. Calgary Canucks versus Vancouver Coyotes. How many ex-Coyotes do we have? We have the two. Shen was a Coyote for a time. I don't know. Who else was Coyotes? I'm so bad at math? I don't know. Yes, it was the Oilers. What team did Niels Oman score his first career goal against on October 20th of this year? Of course, we signed him in the offseason. People were making jokes about signing so many Swedes. So we also signed Linus Karlsson, who is playing for the Abbotsford Canucks right now, along with now Niels Oman, as well as Vasily Podkolzin, Niels Höglander. Yeah. That's the game that started the multi-goal hell. Oh yeah, that was so fun. That Edmonton game. Woo! Loved it. Wild. That is correct. Minnesota Wild. We lost that game. Of course we did, because we didn't win a game until a while later. I'll save that one. Maybe. This is a wild number guess, you know, just RNG generator. Random number generator. Great job, Kaja. RNG it, honestly. Just how many points has Elias Pettersson earned in the year 2022? This includes anything from January of last season to, oh no, this is outdated. Shoot. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. I just realized it's outdated because he scored. Great job combining seasons. Yes. In total, he had 95 points. He had 51 at the end of last year. And 51 basically when he got out of his kind of slump last year. Because I think he had in total 68 points, I believe. No, 68 points was Quinn Hughes. So what did he have last year? Oh, no, he also did have 68 points. Well, okay. Yeah, he had 68 points. But 51 of those came in the year of 2022, which really shows how he turned around this year, as well as now he has 44. I made this list last night, so it's not 43, it's 44. So he has 95 points in the year of 2022. Yes. What amount of money did the Vancouver Canucks have left over from the 2022-23 salary cap? This was a big deal, you know, because people were just like, people pressure about spending the proper amount of money to the salary cap, but also trying to get the most out of your players, right? How much money did the Canucks end up with? Extra. That is a trick question because it was in fact $0. Yes, the Vancouver Canucks, I believe the Leafs had $4. To my recollection, the Leafs had $4. The Vancouver Canucks earned 0. Nothing. Nothing left over. Budgeting queens the Vancouver Canucks are. You know, girl boss. Yeah. It was great. Let's skip those ones. This one's kind of easy. Who did the Canucks hire to their front office on January 26, 2022? They're over the cap? What? Man, let me... It says we have... Oh, it's because we have people in LTIR. Right? I don't know. It was Alvin. Yes. Me? No. I'd say you wish, but I feel like it would be insane. Jim Rutherford was also not... He was hired in December of 2021. Haha. Because of LTIR, we technically... Oh! That's fun! Alvin, but no chipmunks. His chipmunk's JT Miller. Yes, Patrick Alvin was hired as a general manager for the Vancouver Canucks. Who did the Canucks sign to a contract extension on September 2nd, 2022? I remember this day. I was coming back from the Aritzia sale, and I really wanted to nap, because I had, like, a family dinner that night, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a nap. You know, it's gonna be quiet. You know, I don't have school at the moment, because it was before school started, obviously, and Vancouver has, like, a whole Aritzia warehouse sale at, downtown, so I came from that. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap before, and then I opened Twitter, and it's all over Twitter. Yeah, it was JT Miller. JT Miller re-signed him for $56 million, and it really hurts to think about that sometimes. Unfortunately, Miller. Yeah. Combined with multiple puking emojis. How I feel about the decision, a lot. Who did the Canucks sign to a contract extension on July 1st? Remember, there's a lot of memes, no days off for Patrick Allvin. This one, less than Miller's. Some people don't like this contract. I really do, because it was Brock Besser. Because I'm totally not biased. I'm kidding. I liked Brock Besser's contract. I was glad that he stayed in Vancouver. Do I think he deserves better than this team? Honestly, probably. But also, I'd be sad if he left. Anyway. Which 4 players have... This is now just the 2022-23 season. Which 4 players have now not missed a game so far in this season? 2 defensemen, 2 forwards. It used to be 5 players, but since Niels Oman got sent down to the AHL, he is now no longer part of that. I also believe we could have used that money for Bo, Kuz, and the other boys. Yeah, they jumped the gun on that. I've talked way too much about the JT Miller contract. It makes me want to cry. Yeah, it was the players that haven't missed were JT Miller, Bo Horvat, Luke Schenn, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So, 2 contracts that aren't great and 2 that we need to re-sign. And, yeah. Myers has missed a game because he was injured to start the season. Remember? He, tripped. OEL has never missed a game. Yeah, that really shocked me. OEL has not missed a game this season. Good job, Oliver. Against which team did the Vancouver Canucks gain their first home win of the 2022-23 season? Home win. It was the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes, they gained their first win of the season against the Seattle Kraken, but that was an away game. So, technically, their first home win of the season so far, of the season, was against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I hope Boudreau had a word with Miller about his behavior. Yeah, I don't know. He's a grown man. He's a grown man. Just, at your grown age. Come on. We beat a team whose mascot actually terrifies me. That penguin is legitimately terrifying. Getting into kind of joke ones now, too. We have 2 left. 2 left, alright. What restaurant? This is not exclusively Canucks related, but I thought it was important lore of the year to include in the year wrap-up for the Canucks. What restaurant did the Edmonton Oilers take Andrei Kuzmenko to before he agreed to sign with the Canucks? You're 0 for 3 for games. Well, they've also had a terrible home record this season. I'm so sorry. They almost lost. I've been to 1 home game so far this season. They lost the away game I went to, but I saw them beat Montreal at home. Yeah. Joey's. That is very true. I didn't know what Joey's was until a stream about a month ago. Or a couple months ago. Yeah. He wasn't a grown man in that situation. Very childish. Good point! Yeah. The whole Miller Colin Delia thing it was weird. It was Joey's. They took him to Joey's. And then we got him. And then he went wakeboarding, and then people were like, "Don't do that." Which I didn't know there was a thing where you can't do other sports in the time that you're playing the stuff. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. How many times? This is our final question. Final question of the evening. Of the stream of 2022 to finish off. Why do I look so short? What the heck? To finish off Game Over Vancouver for 2022. The final question for trivia is, how many times in 2022, in this entire calendar year, since January 1st, since midnight 0000, on January 1st, 2022, to now, I guess, because they don't play another game in the next hour and 15 minutes. How many times in 2022 did the Canucks lose with a final score of 5-1? Don't we just love that number? 5-1. Like, it's such a funny number. Such a funny number. You know? 51. Shane Wright. It's the first player that came to my head when I think of 51. Yeah. It has been all of this season. And it has been 5! All 5-1 wins have happened in the year of 2022. We had one 5-1 win, 5-1 loss. We had one 5-1 loss against the Ducks last season. But it was November of 2021. So technically, Stetcher, thank you. I was gonna lose my mind. I swore it was Stetcher, but I cannot remember. Yeah. 5. All of the season, we have lost 5-1 to 5 different teams. I know one was the Panthers, and actually, I kind of tried to curse the Flames today. We keep losing 5-1 at home. Hey, we're consistent for one thing. We did win it 5-1 against the Pens, though. But they're penguins. They can't even fly. So, like, that's bullying. Yeah, I tried to curse the Flames. Not only did I wear my Pettersson jersey today, I wore Matthew... Oh, you can't see that. I wore Matthew Tkachuk socks. Don't ask why I own these, but I do. Yeah, I tried to curse them. It didn't really work, but I thought it was funny. And also they're, like, nice socks. Like, the ones with the players on them. Don't look at my feet. For free? Should not say that. Yeah. 5-1! It's almost 10-5-1. 10-51. It's, yeah. Yeah, the Canucks are bad. But, you know what? It could always be worse. It could always... Think about it. The Canucks could always be worse. They're mid. You know what? It's better to be mid than to be completely terrible. Cool socks. Thank you. Thank you. They were on sale because I got them after he was traded. Yeah. Yeah. The Canucks may be bad, the Canucks may be good. It's all relative because nothing really exists. This is all a simulation. Wake up. Happy New Year, everybody. I have been Kaja May. If you want to continue this kind of New Year's vibe, kind of hockey situation, I'm going to be streaming up until the ball drops. I guess the ball drops already because it's in New York and that's kind of like already happened. Until midnight PST, and a little bit after that, I'll be streaming twitch.tv/KajaMay. Better draft picks if you're completely terrible. Nail Yakupov! It doesn't always work out, man! I love using that excuse. It's so funny. Yeah. So, if you want to check that out, I've been at Real Kaja May. Kaja May on Twitter. Finger guns, because that's cool. I don't know. We should leave that in 2022. But yeah, I've been Kaja May. This has been Game Over Vancouver. The Canucks lost 3-2 to the Calgary Flames because, you know what? It's a mid-off. It's a mid-off. It's a mid-off. Yeah. I'm gonna go open up some hockey cards to cover up my sadness from whatever happened. Happy 2023 to everyone. Happy New Year. Hope you all have a wonderful night, wonderful day, wonderful year. 2023 is gonna be our year. To maybe get Bedard, but end up with, like, pick 12 overall. Which, you know what? It's gonna be, like, some 18-year-old. We're not putting all of our burdens on an 18-year-old. Like, I have back issues at 20, and like, imagine what they have to deal with. And I just for me moving that thing over and over again. Because I move that for every stream, and it's heavy. I don't know where I went with this. Anyway, like, comment, rate, review, subscribe down below. I am Kaja. Vancouver Canucks are bad. Not really. Good night, game over, Vancouver. Happy New Year.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.